Hi everyone, it's James here from Production Expert, and we are still exploring the lunar surface. There aren't any more, I promise you. And in this video, we're going to look at mixing. Lunar really does lend itself to mixing. There's lots of goodies built in there that just make your mixes sound mwah. So let's dive over onto my Mac and explore a little more. So here we are in Lunar. I've tidied up a little bit. Change some colors a little bit. Now, color changing is really simple. Click down here and I can change all my drums in one go if I want to. Very, very nice. I like that. Nice and simple. Other than that, this is pretty much the track as we left it. Lovely. I'm sure you'll agree. So the first thing I want to do in this session is create some bussing and some routing. So I've got my drums selected. I'm going to have a bus there, and we'll call it drum bus. Need something engaged. I'm also going to add a bass bus. I'm going to have a guitar bus. And I've already got a BV bus, which is nice. Now, all I need to do is route these appropriately. So let's go to my output section, route the drums to the drum bus, bass to the bass bus, guitars to the guitar bus. Very, very handy. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because, firstly, it gives me master faders for each of those instruments. But secondly, once I'm ready, I can bury the individual instruments. Let's get rid of the bass, get rid of those BVs. And I'm actually mixing the whole track on 4 faders, 5 if you include the master. And if I need to get in to view what's going on those particular groups, if you like, those buses, I can hit the spill button and I can see exactly what's going on and make tweaks and adjustments appropriately. Now, of course, we also get on our buses the lovely Neve summing, which, whether you believe in summing mixers or not, in this case, trust me, this makes a difference. They sound gorgeous. So let's play it back. I really like that. I'm loving what this is doing. It's kind of it's almost a Neve glue. It's like, oh, it just sounds lovely. Now, the next thing I want to add is some tape. Now, we do that on a per channel basis. So let's bring our channels back because, quite frankly, this isn't an enormous session, is it really? So I'm going to add some Studer A800 to the drums because, quite frankly, why wouldn't I? There they are. And I've got a certain amount of tweakability from here. I can just push up the saturation. Of course, they're still grouped. I can do it individually if I want to. But I can also get in and dive deeper if I want to. 15 nips for drums, sounds about right. I can tweak, open things up, change the biasing if I want to. I can also do that from here on a per track basis, which is very nice. Let's add some Studer to the bass. Let's grit it up a little bit. Loving that. Let's add some to the guitars. Actually, let's add oxide to the guitars because this is the one you get for free as part of Lunar. Let's have a listen to those. And let's do the same to the other guitar. Now, I'm not overly emotional about this guitar part at the moment. I might come back and tweak that as we go through. Let's have a listen to these BVs. Let's just put some oxide across those as well. And I can do that all in one go. Oxide. There we go. So this is now the entire mix with tape. Sounds cool, but it's very, very dry. Certainly those vocals are way too dry. They could do with some help, couldn't they? So let's create ourselves another bus. And this is going to be our room verb. There it is. And in the insert slot, we're going to put Capital Chambers. I love this plugin. Even the default sounds amazing. And what we do for that is we put it on a send. So I'm going to hit a send there, and I'm going to send that to room verb. So now I'll solo the room verb and the BV. I can make it bigger. And I can pan the reverb as well. Fairly happy with most of that so far. Now let's have a listen to this guitar part that I'm really not overly emotional about. It's very, very clean. The Buxom Betty didn't quite do what I thought it was going to do. So let's add something a little bit more fruity. Maybe let's go Marshall Blues Breaker. Play it through. That's more what I imagined. I think this guitar part needs some kind of delay, so let's see what we've got. The precision mod delay, that will work for us, I think, as long as we have got a blend control, which we have. Cool, fairly happy with that. Let's put an EQ on there as well, though, to get rid of some of that bottom end. What have we got? Mark, that'll do us nicely. And let's look for a preset. We want a kind of solo guitar. That'll do us. See what we get with that. Yep, I'm liking that a lot more. So let's have a listen to that in the track. I think I need to add some of that riff guitar into my room verb. So let's do that as well. What we can also do is put some effects on this master channel. We can obviously add Neve summing. Why wouldn't we do that? Let's also add the Millennia EQ. I absolutely adore that, certainly in mid-side mode. Let's have a look for a mid-side preset rather than making me do any work, but hey, that's not going to be going. Loving that. And I'm also going to choose Master Desk because this is just one of those instant get out of jail free cards when it comes to mixing and mastering. So we've started to put on quite a bit of processing on this track. We've got lots of tape simulation, Neve summing, few plugins going along. Surely we're driving the living daylights out of our little Apollo X4 with its quad-based processing. As it turns out, no, we're not, which is really quite interesting. Now, this is where Luna is incredibly clever. When they don't need to be, Luna extensions are not DSP-based. They are host-based processes. Meaning that you're saving your DSP up for if I go into Record Enable and start to record a new vocal track or a new guitar part. All this background processing effectively is being done on the host system. It's not being done by the DSP processing on the X4, which is a really, really clever thing that the guys at UA have done to mean we can create bigger mixes with a lot more processing going on. We can harness the power of modern machines and use the DSP to give us next to zero latency when it comes to adding more tracks, adding more instruments, adding more vocals. So I'm happy with our session. I've looked at the levels. Reasonably happy with that. Nothing's peaking, nothing's glitching. It all sounds like I want it to sound. So what can we now do? So using our favorite shortcut, Command, Option and B, which would normally be bounce to disk on Pro Tools, we now have these options. We can create mixdowns from the main files, from the buses, giving us stem mixes effectively. We can bounce out the individual tracks. I'm only going to bounce out a main, quite frankly, because I don't really need to. We can include MIDI file information. We can bypass the effects, preserve mono tracks, give us a real-time mixdown. Sometimes, depending on the amount of processing, this could actually be quicker than using an offline bounce. Where do we want to put it? What file type, sample rate, etc., etc. It's going to call it Test Moog Main, because that's what I called the track. Let's bounce it down at 48, 24-bit. That works for me. Hit mix down. There we go. There's our mix down done. And let's put it in my documents folder. That's fine. And let's go to Documents, Test Moog Main. Open it up. It's going to bring it into the session. There it is. We'll solo it. Very, very cool. Now, agreed, all of this stuff pretty much is available to do in other DAWs. But I think UA and the team working on Luna have just made it all that little bit more streamlined. There's no kind of rooting through menus and diving into huge plugin lists or anything like that. It's all very, very simple. It's all very fast. Okay, again, it's a small session, but we've had no problems. We've had no glitching. It just works, and I really like that. And let's face it, that's what we all want in a system, isn't it? We all want it just to work. So there you go, all things Luna in a trio of videos. We've done the basic GUI, we've done tracking, and now we've done mixing. Hopefully you got something from that. My name's James Ivey, and I'll see you again very soon for some more Gear Talk.